Hello everyone, welcome back to FairlyDeterminedFM with me. My name's Chris. I hope you're all doing really well. If you haven't seen the last episode, go and watch that because spoilers, we survived in the Premier League. And we didn't even need the last day to do it. We did it with a couple of games to spare, which was handy because we didn't win either of those games. So you can see we finished in the end in 16th spot on 33 points, just 1 point ahead of Brentford, but disappointingly 8 points behind 15th. So there's a clear gap. There's a clear structure there, a rigidity to it where we're definitely the best of the worst, which is... I guess I'll take that. I thought this episode, as I normally do, would be sort of an end of season review, squad breakdown, where I think we need to strengthen and possible ideas for where the save might be going next. So the first thing we're going to do is look at some of the players who are going to be leaving us without question. Starting off with Joe Rankin-Costello. We don't play with wingers anymore. We're playing the 4-4-2 Diamonds. He was never really a stellar player. He was a solid player for us, in the seasons I've been here. Looking at his attributes, he's not a Premier League player. He's on £30,000 a week. He's getting on a bit in age as well. And we just don't play his position anymore. We don't play with wingers. So we're not going to be renewing Joe Rankin-Costello's contract. He is the first big name. I say big, but, he's been at Blackburn for most of his career, I think. Yeah, 230 appearances for Blackburn. But yeah, we just got no need for you, Joe. We don't need you. I'm sorry, but bye. See you later. Next up is Harry Pickering, who is also leaving on a free. Harry Pickering, who I dumped into the under-18s because he was performing so badly in all the appearances that he made. Again, just not good enough for the league. He's just not good enough. He's on a fairly decent chunk of money. I didn't want to renew the contract to try and sell him on and get some money. I just wanted him out, really, which is a shame because he was very, very good for us in that championship winning season. Luca Gunter, also, we signed him as sort of as a hopeful one for the future, and we never really made use of him. He's been on loan at Salford. He's played okay there. I'm not renewing his contract. He's also leaving. Joel Matip has already retired. We signed him on a free for a year, and I don't think he appeared once. I don't think he made one appearance for us. No, he made 6. He made 6 appearances at an average rate of 6.48, so he was not very... Yeah, whatever. Similarly, Ben Davies, we've got him on loan from Villarreal. Brought him on loan for a season. I thought if he played well, or if I played him often enough, he might appear. But with Sepp coming in the January transfer window, he didn't really get a look in. He came in the January transfer window as well, actually, to be there, but he just didn't get a look in. I'm not going to bother renewing his loan contract. He is also out the door. So those were the outs. Nothing really of note. There's no big names going out. But we do have an issue with squad depth. There's a couple of positions we really need to strengthen in, and the big ones, unfortunately, they always seem to be the big ones. Bloody right back, bloody left back. Our right backs last season, Gabriel Menino, Mark Gerardo and the other Edwards, none of them, between 3 players, none of them put in, a very good performance. None of them were consistent, 6.6 from Mark Gerardo, 6.7 from Menino and a 6.5 from the other Edwards. It's a difficult position because I can't seem to find a good player, which is really frustrating. We're on the hunt for a right back as ever. Also left back, I did bring in Julian Auld. He has already said he wants to leave because I didn't play him enough at left back, which is fair enough. I guess he didn't really get a look in ahead of Alexa, but I was playing him in sort of the central midfield position, which he wasn't very happy about. So yeah, I'm sort of lacking a left back as well now. So yeah, left back and right back always seems to be the difficult positions. I would love to get a young player in both of those positions that's going to grow and become like a really good left back, right back. They're gold dust. They're like bloody gold dust. You can't find them. We also need more depth in goal. I did bring in, I can show you this guy because he's actually back on loan at his club. But I did bring in this Victor Ibanez. Yeah, he's got some potential. He could be a good goalkeeping option for us in another year. But between now and then, we've only got Dimitrievski and Schutz again, and I really want another good goalkeeper. So that I'm on the hunt for a goalkeeper as well. We need another centre-back as well. Sepp is very, very good. Sepp is very, very good. Vasquez is pretty good, although his mentals aren't all that. I've never noticed his aggression was so low. So I might be in the market for another central defender as well, possibly 2. We've got Namdi and Coop Miners who can play there, but really I want to keep them fit to rotate them around in this defensive midfield spot, which I'm quite happy with, I think, actually, defensive midfield. I think Namdi, Coop Miners, Coventry, even Menino can slot in there. Central midfield is another area I want to improve because, as you can see, we've only got Pascal Zete, who we did sign on another year. So he would have played the last 3 seasons on loan at Blackburn Rovers. but he's so expensive. I've thought about buying him, but City want 45 to 50 million for him, and I don't really want to pay that, especially when I can get him for nothing at a pittance of what his wage is. But we've only really got Pascal Z and Buckley, who are sort of like first team players in the central midfield role. Namdi, Menino, Koopmeiners, they can all play there, and we've got some others. We've got some others who can play there. Serjan's a new signing. Julian Auld, if he decides not to be so miserable. Niall Hoey can play. He's not quite there yet. He's only a 2-star rating for this team, but yeah, we need another really good. I think we need another 4-star midfielder, and we don't have a lot of bite in midfield. We've got Julian Auld, Pascal Z, and Namdi, who are good tacklers, and everyone else is either average or rubbish. Of course, this is including like wingers and stuff, so take that with a pinch of salt. But I want a player in the middle of the park who can tackle really well, and that's what he does, to sort of play alongside Pascal Z, who can also tackle really, really well. I just want more bite in midfield. I want a couple of players who can really win the ball and then spray the passes out to where they need to be, up ahead to the attacking midfield role, out wide to the wing backs if they're pushing on. That's what I'm kind of looking for in terms of our midfield signings. Also going to be looking for another attacking midfielder, because I brought in Serjan and he's pretty good, but hasn't really kicked on. He's only been with us for 6 months, so I'm hoping that with a full preseason behind him and a little bit more sort of knowledge of the league and ability, that he might kick on and become a really, really good player. But we are going to be in the market for another attacking midfielder who can rotate around with Serjan, Buckley, Hoey, that sort of thing. And the only position I'm really not bothered about, funnily enough, is striker. You look at our attackers, 14 goals for Paul Patterson, 10 for Adamida, 5 assists, 6 assists. Even Elton John chipped in with a couple of goals. I'm really not that fussed about strikers. Adamida and Paul Patterson were clearly the main men. I did tie Paul Patterson down to another new contract. He's getting a new contract every year, basically, because I don't want to get rid of him. But this time, the minimum fee release clause has been set at £85 million, which I'm very, very happy about. And relegation release clause of £42 million. And I got him on a 50% top division wage drop. So if we do go down next season, his wage drops down to £31,000 a week, which is still a lot for a championship player. That's still a lot of money, but he's worth it. He's absolutely worth it. And, probably someone will come in and pay £42 million for him anyway. So that's an idea of where we want to strengthen and what the sort of players I'm going to be looking for. Really, it's right back and left back. Those are the ones I'm really, really concentrating on. I think we can muddle through with what we've got elsewhere. We've got a lot of players who can play in midfield and can play in that attacking midfield role. So we've got a lot of rotational options there. It's just right back and left back. I just need quality players in those positions. But this is the manager's journey. There is a possibility that we could move. So far, Blackburn has been the club that we've stayed at the longest. We were at Spennymoor for a season and a half, Leyton Orient for a season and a half, and then moved on to Blackburn, and we've been there now for 2.5 seasons. So we did a half season in the Championship, a full season in the Championship, and then a full season in the Premier League. I've already stayed here the longest so far. So maybe it's time to move on. Do we want to be sticking around in another relegation battle, or do we want to go somewhere else and see what there is? I see Real Madrid's available. No. Real Madrid are never, ever in a million years going to accept me. We've not gotten into that stage of the season where clubs are going to be sacking their managers. I wouldn't mind going abroad, if I'm honest. I wouldn't mind going to another country, like France, Italy, Spain. I've never really managed in any of those countries, and I think it'd be quite an interesting challenge to go from relegation battle in the Premier League to maybe mid-table squads in one of those 3 leagues: Italy, Germany, Spain, France, one of those 4 leagues. I can't count. And I guess we'll just have to see if any of those jobs come up. But my contract with Blackburn is up at the end of next season anyway, so maybe now's the time to start looking. There was a comment on my last video about wanting to see how Spennymoor and Leyton Orient have been getting on, so we'll have a quick look at them as well, and then we'll call it a day, and I'll see you for the next episode. So, Spennymoor Town have been relegated. Oh no. They've been relegated back down to the National League North. Remember, we got them up there in our second season there when we won the National North. They stayed for that season, got relegated last season, came back up this season or previous season, and now gone down again. Oh, I'm still favoured personnel. Come on, get in, Glenn Taylor, the man, the myth, the legend. Oh, maybe that'd be quite nice actually. Maybe at the end of this save, we go back to Spennymoor as our final club. And Leyton Orient, how have they gotten on? So we took them up So when we won Sky Bet League 2 with them, they finished 13th in the first season. The season I went to Blackburn Rovers, they finished 13th. And then the next season, they went up via the playoffs to the Championship. And it looks like they survived. They did. They survived by 1 point. Come on, well done. Well done, Leyton Orient. Brilliant stuff. And I'm still favoured personnel there. Dan Happ, Jason McCarthy, Matty Longstaff. Some names. Some names I recognise. Who's still playing there, actually, out of my squad? So Dan Happ is still there. He was a legend. Dominic Ball, McCarthy, Louis Thompson. Towler, I think, was there when we were rather. Matty Longstaff, Anthony Spirou. I think I signed him just before I left the club. Yeah. Cool. Well done. So our next episode is actually going to be on Friday. We're going to skip Wednesday's episode this week because it's my birthday on Wednesday and I'm going to be eating cake and not playing Football Manager. So I will see you on Friday for the next episode where we'll have signed some players. Maybe there's some jobs available and maybe we'll even be at a new club already. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. Who knows? You'll have to tune in to find out. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know what you thought down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already and I'll see you very, very soon for another episode of The Manager's Journey. Cheers. Bye.